That's where your ground for your headlights is also right there. I know I've said that in other videos before. You can see they put that star right there. And there we go, it's all out. It doesn't take very long to take one of these out. That's why a spread frame Cub Cadet is really actually the easiest cadet to work on. So we're going to get the rest of this 1210 apart and get the parts on the shelf and move on to the next project. Now we're on to 12 horsepower K-Series motor. Going to take the clutch off. The motor's already sold. It's going to a garden tractor puller, so he doesn't need the clutch on here. This is a Borg Warner, if I haven't said that already. I think I did. But we're going to take it off. It takes a 5/8 on the crankshaft bolt. That's the first thing I always do is take the crankshaft bolt off, and the reason why is I can soak it. That's just plain WD-40. I really like WD-40. 11. The bolts that hold these on are 7/16. Sometimes they come off, sometimes they don't. This one here is going to be a little bit of a tough one. What we're going to do is tap that on. I believe it moved just a little bit. And it did. You want to get as much penetrating oil as you can in the keyway area. That makes a lot of difference right there. It's starting to move. Might take a second. Now, if worst comes to worst, we'll take the pressure plate off, and this is called the pressure plate. I call it the pressure plate, and we'll get the pulley off, and we'll do it in pieces. And we might have to do that. Sometimes they pull right off, sometimes they don't. I believe this one is going to. I just have to be a little bit more patient with it. I believe this bearing number is a 6206. Because I've had some people that asked me that before. And there we go. Now, worst comes to worst, we could have taken that off. You can see how rusty that is. But believe it or not, that WD-40 has gone right down through there. So the clutch is off and ready for sale. This will actually fit a 2284 or any of them. These are very common. 782, same clutch. So This will conclude this video right here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you like watching just various different things that I've taken apart in the last couple days. Believe only one was not today, to believe it or not. We removed that many parts. We're getting closer to spring, so business is starting to pick up. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so, and we'll definitely see you on the next video. Welcome back. It's about 10 minutes after I stopped filming the last portion of it. An M18 just came in. It's out of a Bowens. If I can get it fired, the gentleman thinks it has some type of problem with the valves. I'm going to put it in an 1812 because I sold my 1812 motor. So we're going to see if we can get that going. But the big surprise is it had a 1650 come in, and I call that the big block of Cub Cadets. It has a snow blade on it. It's missing the air cleaner cover, but this has chains and weights on it. I love a 1650. These quiet lines here, even has a sleeve hitch here in the back. So pretty happy with this one. I don't get a lot of 1650s in, and we're going to see in future videos if we can get this one going. Thank you so much. Going to get this 1650 in. Only a little bit of warpage on the back brackets on this snow blade right here. These 1650s has so much torque. Usually them frames are in pretty rough shape. So we're on to the next project. Let's see if we can get this 1650 running. That is a cold start, believe it or not. I just changed the oil in it. Hooked on the rock shaft in there. Electric clutch works. No smoke. the rock shaft is unhooked. The electric clutch I see worked. The controls were completely seized up. Put some WD-40 on them, let them soak a little bit overnight, and everything seems to be in pretty good shape. The hydraulic lever, you couldn't even move it, and now we're in pretty good shape there. And right here is the hydrostat. It's amazing with a little bit of soak, and I did put some lubrication down on the cams right there. But pretty happy with this. Probably will dismantle this machine. These 16 horse motors are pretty hard to come by. I call them the big block of Cub Cadets. There's a little bit of dirt on the hoods right here, and it hasn't been well taken care of, and it's definitely been outside. Even the amp gauge is missing the needle on it, so you can't even see on the tack. But we're going to get it in pieces and sell the weights, which I'll show you the weights. Has the weights and chains right there. So this machine was really, these were like the Cadillac of Cub Cadets. A gentleman contacted me the other day and said that his father bought one of these, and I think that it was around $4,000 for one of these. So these were quite expensive in their day, but they were like the Cub Cadet Cadillacs. There's no question about it. So we're gonna move on to the next project and go from there. Welcome back. Working on an M18 that came in here today, and had to change the spark plugs out. Carburetor was extremely dirty. Gentleman said it didn't quite run correctly. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to put it in my 1812. Have to change a lot of the levers here for the governor to run it. They have like a boomerang thing on a Cub Cadet to run them, because your throttle comes in on the side. But I actually have already had this running. I want to let it run just a hair more. I thought the fuel pump was bad at the beginning, but it wasn't. So I tested that. Changed the spark plugs out like I said before. I put a much hotter one in it. I didn't have smoke with the other ones in it, but I noticed that they weren't burning real clean. So I'll show you the sediment in a picture of how much stuff was in the bottom of the bowl. I didn't do any adjustments, just blew it out. That's all I did. I just run a hot wire right to the starter. I ground it right here. This is a good hot battery. Actually, this came in on a 122 Cub Cadet. Pretty happy with this one right here. Going to change the covers out. I might actually leave that green cover on the fan portion of it in the back here. Might leave that green because the intake manifold's green also, but I will change the sides out so I can put all the muffler covers on it and change the muffler out on it to a Cub Cadet one. I actually did think about leaving it to this style because it will fit right into a Cadet 82 series, no problem. But we're on to the next thing. We're going to put a Borg Warner clutch on it. It's 1.1/8 shaft right there, so we're in pretty good shape.